Hi anyone, I'm Barkle, and welcome to another episode of me playing Minecraft on the Skyfall SMP. Recently, I went to the local D&B, the Dave and Buster's, and played a bunch of the coin pusher games, and I thought to myself, I can make that. And today, I'll make something just like that. So I jumped into a creative world and I started redstoning. I've redstoned all over the place. It was redstone galore. It was monostable circuits and red-coded circuits and green circuits and blue circuits. And it was 7-segment displays and counters and etho hopper clocks. I'm gonna kill this horse by running into bushes. But it was a lot of redstone and it's a fun build. Let me show you what I'm working with here with in terms of the build. It's cool. It's nothing too complex when you break it down. I always say break it down into its parts and it will be so much simpler. So when I actually build it on the server, then I'll break it down into its parts and tell you what each thing does. But for now, that's what the look that you're going to get. So vibe with me as we go figure out where we're going to build this, because we need to not build it in our city, because I don't think that's going to really look cool in here anywhere unless I dig it into like this mountain. But I think what I want to do is put it in our gaming district, because it's a little barren right now, because at least in my input, because I haven't put anything into it. So it's time to go to the gaming district. Game! That's how you know we're close to the gaming district. By entering the shopping district portal, and then you see the game sign. So that's how you get to the gaming district. I know that there's a gaming district portal. I just need to find it. Here. We go to the gaming hole. Take the gaming hole to the gaming cave, and down the gaming cave we got some games. There are not many games here. We just got this parkour, which I'm bad at. That shooting gallery, which I'm bad at. Then over here, up this way, we have Swanee's ice track, which I am also bad at. Let's see, what's the record here? It is 1 stack 17. 1 stack 38. So I think I'm tied with third or fourth. Not great, but whatever. And then there's this arena somewhere over here, which isn't done yet. Ow, that hurt a lot. So I'm not really going to show it, but there's that down there. There's the portal. So this takes us to the nether roof. And then over here, I had my eyes out for a spot where I could put my new game in, and I think it's gonna go right here. Yes. It's gonna go right there. Yes. So we have our spot. Now we need our stuff, which the stuff, I already got it because it was pretty easy to get. We have our redstone bits, well, most of the redstone bits, then some blocks and a couple more redstone bits, and some more blocks and a couple more redstone bits and some lights. So that's everything we need for the build, and it's time to build it. Okay, the function of the game is done. How do you play the game? I have this book here that tells you what to do. Welcome to War. I just named it War for now because it's a war game. This is you versus CPU, drawing random number from 0 to 15. It's displayed as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. Placing a diamond in the chest to play, or place diamonds in the dropper and press a button to play. When the diamond is detected in the game, it will run and draw 2 random numbers. If your number is lower than the CPU, you lose your money. If you tie or if you have a higher number, you gain your money back, plus some extra. Thanks for playing. So yeah, that is the book, and it's pretty simple. It's just you put your diamonds into this dropper, and then you can either open your chest and let it close, and then it will run the game, or you could just put a diamond directly in the chest, and that was a win sound. So we got 2 diamonds out of that. So you just get, for winning, you get your diamond back plus another one, because it's pretty much 50-50. It's like, I made it so it should be 60-40, but it's a little random as well. So we'll just run it again. We'll keep playing, trying to get a loss. But yeah, this will be, yeah. That's the loss sound. So it goes bum, 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 and roars. Then it's providing us with 2 random numbers. This is your number. This is the CPU's number. So whoever has a higher number wins. It's pretty simple for looking at like what it does with the function here. It's just, it rolls the numbers, and then the winner, it will be pointed out. So we won, and then we get our money. That's how it works. So I think what we're going to do now is go into some more details on the actual parts of the build. So let's do it. The game starts with an item filter to sort out the diamonds from anything else. So you put the diamond up in that chest up there, and then it goes down into this item filter here, which is an impulse item filter. It uses 3 redstone, 1 comparator, 1 repeater, and 1 torch. And then some hoppers just to move the items along. And then for the filter, it requires 41 items and then 4 filter items. Then as soon as you get your 42nd of the item that you want, it will go through, which will then go into this hopper, which is just held until the next one plays. And it just runs the game. So this observer will be sent off to a couple places, which is the game clock and our random number generators, which is the next spot we're going to be talking about. This red line goes to the 2 random number generators. The 2 generators are the same but mirrored on each side. And then we can separate them into 2 parts. This is the 50-50 randomizer. And then up here we have a 4-bit binary to base 10 decoder. So that's a little scary sounding, but it's not as complicated as you think. So we'll touch on it. We'll see. So let's start with the 50-50. It starts with these 4 50-50 number generators, so it's either going to produce a 0 or a 1. So the green shulkers will have an item in them, so that's going to be a 1. And then the red shulkers don't have any items in them, so that's going to be a 0. So we could show you the pistons firing, and then the shulkers get recycled through a hopper into the dispenser and then get re-pushed out. So that will reset the system for the 0s and 1s, and if it detects an item in the shulker, then it will fire the piston up, which will then allow these comparators here to detect what's in these barrels. Now this part of the random number generator is a 4-bit binary to redstone decoder, and this is made by Vanapitan, I believe is how you pronounce his name. So he made this a few years ago, and it works great for what we need here. It basically will convert our 50-50 generators from binary, which is all 0s and 1s, to a number that we would understand. So in base 10 is what it's called, and that provides us with the actual number that we want here. So what it's doing is getting the signal from these barrels. So these barrels have non-stackable items in them. So it goes 1, there's 3 in here, then there's 7 in this one, and then in this one we have 15. So that gives us different signals of 1, 2, 4, and 8. So those signals will be subtracted from this fully powered signal here, and that will provide us with a inverted signal that we want. And since it's inverted, we don't want that. We want the signal to be like the right way around that we want. So we need to subtract it from this fully powered barrel here. So this is going to be a signal strength of 16, and then this right here, doing the math, would be 8 plus 2, so that gives us 10. So that would provide a signal strength of 10 coming from this block here. which is pretty cool. It does exactly what we need. So if we cycle the system again, we can do that real quick. We will get a new number. Ooh, that almost got kicked off. I could have been. I guess we won. So this will be the number of 8 plus 4 plus 2. So that would be 14. So I can switch over to a different resource pack real quick, and then it will show you that number here. It's just a little much. Let's see. Super utility. There you go. We have 14 coming from this block. So that is awesome. That's exactly what we need. And it goes to the next part of the systems, which are for the 7-segment displays and our comparison circuit. 2 numbers enter, 1 shall leave. I'm not exactly sure who designed this comparison circuit, but it is pretty interesting the way it works. So what happens is that the CPU's number is compared with the player's number first. So if it is higher than the player's number, then this would stay on. But since it's lower than the player's number, it's off right now. And then it just continues along to the CPU winning circuit, which is losing right now. And then if it were to be winning, it would be on. And then the lights and stuff would go on for the CPU. Then for the player circuit, if the player is higher than the CPU, it stays on and goes along. And then if the CPU were to be higher than the player, it would continue along this line and turn this comparator off. So that's how it works. It just continues along to the winning circuit and to our game clock, which we can go to next. This is the game clock. It's a modified Etho hopper clock where I replace one of the sticky pistons with a normal piston to make it only fire once when the game is run. You run it here, and you see it fires once, it pushes back, and that's it. So it doesn't retract the redstone block with it. Then it only has 4 items in it, and that gives it enough time for the number generators and the comparison circuit to do their things. And the game clock has several functions. Essentially, the game clock really just controls the timing for the music and for the giveaway winnings. So it tells you when the game is over to do the stuff. This blue line is the win condition line. When this one right here is off, that means that they're winning. And we continue along to the green line. The green line is a pulse circuit. The pulse circuit turns a powered line into a short pulse. This pulse length is determined by the amount of delay that you put with these repeaters here between that beginning and the torch tower here. So this torch tower would turn into the pulse. Having turned the powered line into a pulse, shortly extending this piston here, it turns it into an observer clock. The observer clock fires and is sent into 2 places right here. So it would be the payment system here, which we have our final payment holdings, and then our winning music here. So it plays a little tune. Continuing along the win condition line, it's off right now, so the player's winning. But if it were to be on, that means we lost. So this piston would retract as soon as the game is over. That allows the music to be played for the loss condition, which we continue along here, go under this sorter, and it plays these tunes here. Boom, boom. So that's the tune that we're going to get from the loss condition. During the game, I wanted some music, so I added this terracotta line, which will be playing the in-game music. Doody, 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 doody. And it's pretty simple. It's just a piston firing when the game is running into another observer clock, and that observer clock will be playing the music. It's that simple. Doody, doody, doody. Yeah. And that's it for the logic of the system. The rest is all just for the displays that we're going to be showing. So let's get started with showing you that. Since we're getting a number from 0 to 15 with our random number generator, that coincides with the signal strength of redstone, so we can use a red coder. A red coder is designed to give us only the specific number that we want from our signal strength. So if our redstone signal strength is, let's say in this instance, it's 8 plus 4 plus 1, so 13. So it should only give us the 13th torch from this signal here, and that's what it's doing. So this is 15, 14, 13. So we're able to get the exact number that we want. This red coder was made by Tinker77, but how you make it really quickly is you put your redstone line from here coming all the way to the random number generator. So that's 15 blocks that way. Then you put your target blocks to the side of the redstone line with redstone torches to the side of the the target blocks, placing blocks on the side and the top of the first redstone line, and then putting a redstone lines on top of those blocks. Now placing repeaters on top of the target blocks and going into a block which goes with a torch on top, and that would be your final signal there. This allows us to get our specific line, and it works great for what we need because we just extended it up and we'll use it to get our signal for our 7-segment displays. For the 7-segment displays, I'm not exactly sure who to give credit to other than Mumbo Jumbo, because he made a similar smart display many years ago, and that's what inspired me to make this game. So each segment has its own colored line, and it powers 3 lights for each segment. So the powered line comes from the red coder. So if the red coder is on, then we will be able to take the power from there. But if we don't want the light to be on, then we can use a repeater to block that power. So it does take a moment for the signal to power through, because it's using a bunch of repeaters, but it's still pretty quick in the grand scheme of things, because it takes a moment for the number to generate. But I'm fine with it. It kind of looks like it's ticking through some different numbers. It's going a little bit like science-y. I enjoy it. Rawr. I wanted to have a special win when the player rolls the highest number possible, since that's always a win because the player wins on ties. So I added a line from the red coder's 15th signal to the pulse generator down here, and this line will retract this piston, which will then extend the pulse, allowing for the clock to run longer, giving you more diamonds and playing more music. So basically every repeater that you put on here with full ticks will add another diamond and as well play more music. So yeah, that's the bonus line. And with that, we have our game. From top to bottom, it's pretty much you just put your diamond in, it runs the game, and then the winner is drawn. So it's completely random. You don't really have to do much besides pay and get your money out. And then it's fun for me, at least pushing a button over and over. Uh-oh. The odds are in your favor or they're against you, so you never know what you'll get out of this. So right now I'm pretty much ahead, so I'm not doing a great job as the house as gaining money in this, so we'll see what I get in the final. I don't mind giving my diamonds away, I got plenty of them. But now that the function is designed, it's time to start working on the form, and I think the iced out version of it is pretty cool. It allows us to see all the redstone and everything going on inside it, but there's no theme behind it, and I want there to be a theme. So the closest thing we have to a theme is this dragon roar, and I'm thinking we make this the center of a dragon's mouth. So this would be the inside of the dragon's mouth that we'd be in, and then the rest of the head would be out here. We could go up here. This is a good place to kind of visualize it, what the dragon would look like. So this would be the neck coming out here with the head, and we'll close this cave off. We'll make it look like it's coming out of an actual cave. And that's pretty much the ideas I'm having. I still need to figure out what it will look like and what the designs will be, but yeah, that's just in my head. I'm thinking dragon cave, dragon head. Alright, it's the next day. I got a little totem mini me now. And I also did some designing for the dragon head, so I kind of got the grasp of what I want to make for it. So I'm going to be capturing a few colors and a few different things that I haven't really done much with yet, so I'm really excited to show you what I'm experimenting with. But first, we got to do material gathering, so let's get started with that. I started out by visiting the shopping district and buying Umi out from all of his dark prismarine. So that was pretty simple. Then I went home and I started doing some tree chopping. Well, tree chopping with my ENX04 wood farm, and that made it really easy to get my acacia, my mangrove, and my crimson wood. Next was placing a bunch of dirt to make some mud. And remember, the mud goes burr. With my mud, I headed to the supermarket and grabbed some wheat. With that wheat, we made some pack mud. Pack mud in hand, we started doing some dripstone mining. Next, I grabbed some netherrack from my storage. as well as some blackstone from the gold farm. And that's pretty much all the materials that we need, besides some stuff that I have in my ender chest. Now the mats have been attained, it's time for Mighty Morphin building time! Rawr! It's a dragon head. Yeah, that's what we said. We're gonna make a dragon head. I didn't finish off the cave back there. I might finish it sometime. I don't know. It's a lot of effort to do that. So I just designed this head to kind of cover up all the redstone of the build, and it works magnificently. And it does look like a dragon to me. It's not a snake. It's just a dragon. In my head, I have to tell myself it's a dragon all the time. It's because there's no spiky snakes. There are only spiky dragons. So I love the spikes. I love especially the ones up here. Like this double spike. I really like that one. And then this middle fin. So like the fins are for it to cut through the air easier. Just like these wings do for it. So I really like all of everything that's going on with it. Especially with the colors. And the shapes. And the mouth. And the sides and the eyes. I really enjoy this. With the obsidian eyes, and it all comes together really well. And then the tongue comes up here, and then we can play the game. It's all the same as before. Place one diamond in. I already had some in there. And then you win, you get it, and then you can put your diamonds back in there. You keep playing. You're like boop 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 boop. Oh no! And then the dragon shoots us with fire! That's pretty cool. I really enjoy that aspect, that they have a negative to the game other than losing the diamond, because you can win some diamonds here. So I want them to take some pain as well. So if they lose the game, I decided to have them get shot with a rocket, and they get shot with a nice red, orange, and yellow rocket to signify the fire being breathed out of his mouth. You decided to visit the dragon's mouth, so you might take some damage. You never know. But it just adds another level of effect to the game. It might be a little strong, like 3 hearts is a bit, but I'm fine with it. Just a little. It's a little food, and this will encourage them to buy more carrots. So, win-win. I'm proud of being able to get something that looked at least halfway decent. That was able to cover up all of the redstone for this build, because it was a lot of stuff going on with the redstone. There's a bunch of stuff in his jaw and in the back of his neck. Let me show you that real quick. It just looks, it's all the same in the neck, and then all in the jaw. It was a little complicated to make it look nice. So in the end, I'm pretty proud of how I was able to get all the form and the function to work well together, and it's a pretty cool build, if I do say so myself. But yeah, if you enjoyed the build, if you enjoyed the redstone aspects of it, hit like, subscribe, comment, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.